Hello, I am Vishal Prabhukhanolkar. Let us talk about corporate restructuring. But before going into that, what is restructuring? Restructuring is nothing but reorganization of legal, ownership, financial or any other structure of an organization. Why do we need to do reorganization or restructuring? First and foremost reason is to improve the profitability or getting better organized. That is the first and foremost reason for which reorganization is done on a regular basis. There are other events as well which will lead to reorganization or restructuring. For example, a demerger or an external event such as bankruptcy or buyout or a more radical decision of change of ownership. So in all these cases, the current structure in terms of legal operations, business operations, financial structure, ownership structure, the current structure is not capable of holding or supporting the new structure required, and that is where we go for reorganization. Now this restructuring can happen on three parts. First is corporate restructuring, second is debt restructuring, and third is financial restructuring. Now instead of going into all three, let's focus on corporate restructuring. In corporate restructuring, we are essentially redesigning the ownership of various business units in order to increase the profitability of the company. That includes changing of managers, promoting some new managers, reducing some workforce, taking out some of our old businesses which are not profitable, and so on and so forth. But doing corporate restructuring is not as easy as it sounds. So there are particular steps which need to be followed or particular things which need to be kept in mind. Some of these are as follows. First, corporate restructuring is a very violent period in the life of an organization. So during that time, we must make sure that enough working capital is available for the organization. Working capital works as an oxygen for the organization during that period. So the top management can focus on restructuring efforts rather than focusing on any financial aspects, any other financial aspects of the company. Second, we have seen about present working capital. The next step is to ensure that future working capital forecasts are accurately made, and that much amount of money is made available for the period of reorganization, because corporate restructuring will not happen over a day or two. It might go on for months. So during that period, the stability of the company will be dependent on the accuracy of the forecast we make for working capital at the beginning of the corporate restructuring. Third most important thing is, this is a time when your creditors are most doubtful about your abilities. That is why when a corporate restructuring starts, just before that, it is imperative to start and open clear lines of communication with your creditors. Show them the plan of restructuring, show them the new business plan, and update and publish those plans. That is the fourth and final step of corporate restructuring. So apart from corporate restructuring, we can go for debt restructuring or financial restructuring. Debt restructuring means that there are different sources of debts and different number of debts that we might have taken. So just analyzing those debts, finding out the most costly of the debts and clearing those debts out, so that the burden on the working capital on a day-to-day basis goes low. Financial restructuring means the amount of equity and debt that we are holding, that needs to change. That this decision can be supported by calling out an investor, extra investor to invest in, or taking out the entire business division completely, so that that part of debt can be cleared out, etc. To conclude, what is the advantage of restructuring? Restructuring helps in reducing financial losses and at the same time reducing the tension between debt and equity holders, because debt and equity holders are the two pillars on which your business runs.